Hey guys, it's Stephen here and welcome back to another video. And the first 5 things that we learned in absolutely ages. Manchester City played in the early hours of the morning today and I'm still recovering from it. I am tired. I'm a very tired boy. I tell you what, these preseason friendlies are absolutely expert dad-to-be training, getting up at stupid hours in the morning. Anyway, we played at the early hours of the morning and beat Bayern Munich 1-0, and there was loads and loads of fascinating stories. I can't do it justice with just 5 things, but 5 things I picked out I think are particularly pertinent are going to be discussed today, and I can't wait actually. I'm looking forward to doing this. I'm also looking forward to telling you all about the wonderful app that is OneFootball. If you've not downloaded OneFootball right now, what are you doing, guys? Genuinely, what are you doing, man? It's as beautiful as an Erling Haaland long leg to put the ball into the back of the net, or a Rico Lewis dribble, or a Carl Palmer step over. Go and download OneFootball right now by clicking the link in the description below or scanning that beautiful QR code next to my dishevelled face. Get your phone out, hold it up the camera, and it should download automatically to your phone. It's a free app, don't worry about it. It doesn't cost you anything, and if you don't like it, you can delete it, whatever, but give it a go. It's fantastic. All your Manchester City transfer news and all the news from across the world of football and all the stats and all your Manchester City goodness. Download it right now, and it does help support my channel a tiny bit, so that would be most appreciated. Download OneFootball. It's wonderful, I promise you. And it's almost as wonderful as the place that I've got to start, man. I have to start here. I have to start with Killer Erling. Oh, it took 12 minutes. It took literally just 12 minutes to show the rest of the world why Manchester City fans have been so excited for this Nordic meat shield. Erling Haaland put out a big, massive, stupidly long leg and scored his first goal in a Manchester City shirt. And I tell you what, this little boy felt like it was. This little boy inside of me felt like it was Christmas. I was very happy to see it. The glee that shot across my face, despite it being about 1:30 in the morning. Honestly, I was so excited because it fulfilled all that promise. That one leg for that one tapping showed exactly what we felt as City fans was coming. That he is going to score tapping after tapping after tapping, because Manchester City have been waiting for someone like him for some time now. Since Aguero left the club, City have been waiting for a guy who just knows where to be and when to be there. That is that instinct that comes with players like Erling Haaland. They are tapping machines, and it's not because the team is so good around them. It's because he makes the team absolutely find him. Some people like Haaland and Aguero and people like that, they just have this aura. They know exactly where to be, man. It's an instinct. It really is an instinct. And it's something that maybe City have lacked for a while. Like, Jesus didn't have that at Manchester City. As much as I loved him, he didn't have it, you know. And our various false nines like Phil Foden or Grealish or whatever, or Bernardo or Gundogan, they didn't have it either. Like, they don't have it because, one, they are not strikers, and two, they also don't have it because physically they don't have it. Like, they don't have the movement, but they also aren't 6'5" with legs for days, the longest legs in the world, and also they don't have the physicality and that pace as well to get there. Haaland has that natural instinct combined with further reach. He's going to score so many goals at Manchester City Football Club, and I cannot wait to watch that killer instinct set in. The only thing I would say is he tried to pass it at one point. Don't you dare do that again. Just shoot, man. You got one job, put it in the back of the net. But Killer Erling is a real deal. And the most exciting thing about Erling last night for me is that he brought out the best in those around him, which leads me to my next point. Super Jack Grealish. Super Jackie Grealish. Jack Grealish looks like a man possessed, and I'm so excited to see how his game comes on this season. Gone is the fear, or maybe not the fear, or the willingness to please from last year. Grealish's season wasn't anywhere near as bad as people made it out to be last season. It wasn't a £100 million season. No, it wasn't. Excuse me. But it looked like the season of a man who was trying to impress the coach. He was trying to not do anything wrong. He was trying to prove that he belonged. Like, Grealish has got a reputation as someone who's a bit cocky and a bit arrogant. But everything I've ever seen about Grealish on the pitch suggests a man who actually was a little bit in awe of those around him. The way he talked about KDB being some kind of god, which he actually is, to be fair to Grealish, suggested a man that didn't really feel like he belonged there, that he was trying to fit in, trying to be one of the group, and trying to show that he had what it is. And he was trying to impress Guardiola, which is great. It's absolutely needed. But at the same time, it felt like a little bit like he knew his own playing style, and he wasn't being aggressive and so on. And as he's come back from this preseason, and he did show signs of it last season as well, actually, towards the end of the season, he looks like a guy in preseason who absolutely belongs here at Manchester City now. And he knows that Guardiola trusts him, and he knows that he's here, and he knows now that he's a Premier League winner, and he knows he can play at the Champions League level as well and do it. So he's come back as a guy who's got nothing to prove to no one, absolutely nothing to prove, and he's just running at people so aggressively. And you could see the size last night on the pitch of that link-up play between him and Erling Haaland was absolutely special. And even the link-up play between him and Kevin De Bruyne, oh, it looked so promising. And I'll get on to KDB in a minute, actually. But the link-up play between those three was just, it was a big mood, man. It really was a big mood. Like, Jack Grealish looks ready to go. He looks ready to run at people, be aggressive. And the thing is, as well, I think he's going to really benefit from Haaland because Haaland drags people towards him. The space, the amount of times Grealish got one-on-one with a fullback compared to last season, okay, it's just a friendly, I know that. But still, I think it's going to be similar because Haaland draws defenders in. You're going to get one-on-ones to Grealish, and he's going to revel in that space with his physicality and his pace running at people. And of course, you know, Wilson-Esbrand next to him overlapping made a little bit of space for him too, and it might be 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿 doing that or whatever, but it's going to really feed into Jack Grealish's game. And he looks sharp, as did the man alongside him. KDB, man. KDB is sharp. He is on fire. There was one run in the second half where KDB went, fuck it, I'm 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿 Toure. And to be honest, if KDB wants to say, fuck it, I'm 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿 Toure more often, please, Kev, absolutely be my guest, man. And he went on a run where he just burst past 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿. 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿 looked about 50 all of a sudden. And the power and the pace of the run and the drive, it was frightening. Contrast that with a year ago where KDB was coming back off the back of loads of injuries, a disappointing Champions League final, broken cheekbone or whatever, and nerve pain in his face. He wasn't a happy man at the start of last season. He looked like age and injuries were catching up to him, if I'm being honest, but now he's come into this preseason as off back of a break. He looks happy. He looks fit and fresh. He looks like he's carried on the form from the end of last season, and that should be devastating for the rest of the Premier League. KDB looks sharp, man. He looks as healthy as I've seen KDB looking about 3 years. Genuinely, I'm not exaggerating. He looks fast. He looks strong. He looks confident. Nowhere near as red-faced as he usually does. And once again, as I hinted with the other two previous points, he's showing signs of a really promising and really encouraging burgeoning partnership with the likes of Grealish and Erling Haaland in particular. And that, to me, should be scary news for the rest of the Premier League. So should the next point, man. I've simply put CFA supremacy. The City Football Academy continues to bear the most beautiful of fruits. And now it's up to Manchester City to take those fruits and put them in a nice big fruit salad and something about fruit. Anyway, the fruits in this instance are those young left-back and right-back options that impressed so much yesterday. And the CFA, once again, you've got a lot to thank for it for. You really have, and I love it. But I want Guardiola to use these players. Wilson-Esbrand yesterday was really, really, really encouraging. Wilson-Esbrand on a pitch with possibly the best, one of the best left-backs in the world, Alphonso Davies. And at times, you would have been convinced that was Alphonso Davies running. Now, it's interesting because Fabrizio Romano today has tweeted that City have been approached by Premier League clubs to sign Wilson-Esbrand on loan, but City have no plans to let him leave because they think he could be a backup option, which is really, really intriguing. I'm trying to find the quotes right now. Guardiola said this: "We believe he has the potential. He's aggressive to win duels and with the ball, he is so clever. A good 1-versus-1 defender, and he doesn't feel the pressure with the ball. Today was an example of how our back four were pressed but didn't lose much the ball. He did a really good game. If we can control his injuries, we have a fullback for many years." Fucking you love to see it, don't you? And do you know what? I agree. Like, Wilson-Esbrand, to me, I first tweeted about him 3 years ago when I saw his debut and I thought he was really impressive. We signed him from West Ham, I think, as an under-16, a first-year scholar. And it was very clear that this guy is great getting forward, good physically, good turn of pace, loves to attack. I think even then it was relatively obvious that he wasn't probably the best natural defender, but good enough as a fullback, but he still has a little bit to learn on that side of the game. And I think he still does. But I've got no doubt that Guardiola is aware of that, and Guardiola's right, man. He's aggressive, and that's what you want from a fullback. And if he can continue to learn, look, the sky's the limit, man. He's a natural fullback, and there's no better coach in world football for fullbacks than Guardiola, and he will improve. And I do hope Guardiola means that. I do hope we keep him around the squad, because even if we do sign, 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿 or whatever, that's only 3 senior fullbacks. Like, why not make it that, if Cancelo has to go on the right, make it that 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿 goes on left and Wilson-Esbrand is the first substitute off the bench. Why not make it like that? Or why not make it that Rico Lewis is that as well? Let's talk about Rico Lewis a little bit. And a guy, if I'm being honest, that many of you wouldn't have heard of beforehand. I saw him plenty of times from the under-18s, and he's been involved in the EDS as well. He's only a 17-year-old right back. And of course, he went on that scintillating little dribble where he skinned a few Bayern players and hit the post. So unlucky not to score. And he's yet another local lad. The CFA, once again, coming up trumps. He's been at City since he was, I think, 9 years old. He's from Bury as well, which is interesting. He's from Radcliffe, so he's another local lad from North Manchester. And you got to love that man. So much potential. He's captain the under-18s as well, which says it about how much Manchester City value his leadership and his mentality. Technically excellent. He kept the ball really well. They went forward really well. We got two very good fullbacks there that I think Guardiola would have been very, very impressed with. And I've not even talked about Cole Palmer yet when he came on. Cole Palmer once again showed that, in my opinion, he is ready to be a first-team member. I think he honestly looked a little bit better in his cameo than Morris did yesterday. And I love Riyad, don't get me wrong, but Cole's footwork in the tight spaces and, of course, drawing a save from the keeper was really, really impressive. Cole is going to the top, I'm almost certain. And that CFA supremacy, it really does hit different. And finally, the thing I want to talk about is how City felt fresh last night. They do feel fresh, man. I know people were very apprehensive about a lot of changes and all that kind of stuff, and I get it. Like, change can be scary, but also in football, it can be the most exciting thing that you could possibly witness. I love watching Fernandinho and Jesus and Sterling and Zinnia over the years. Sorry about this, the mild cough. I haven't got COVID, by the way. I had a camera down my throat about a month ago, and ever since I've had a cough, it's been driving me mad, man. They fucked up my throat. But anyway, it's not good for videos. But anyway, back to the feeling fresh thing, which I don't feel at the moment, ironically. It's great watching those plays, but sometimes you need to see new ideas and new energy. And I think Guardiola needs it, and I think the players need it, and I think the club needs it. Like, it's all very good having the same core group forever, but eventually things can get stale, not by anyone's fault, just because the same ideas and the same training routines, well, the same thing over and over again, it doesn't necessarily inspire creativity or new ideas and new energy. And when you see the likes of Wilson-Esbrand and Rico Lewis training with the first team, or Cole Palmer knocking on that first team door, and the likes of Alvarez with different runs to the channels, or Haaland being a beast, or Calvin Phillips coming in to challenge Rodri, or Ortega to challenge Ederson, or I don't know, Ake stepping up and looking really fresh because he's settled now in the team. When you see all these things, these are new ideas, these are new ways to play, new combinations. And Guardiola, I got the impression that he's really enjoying that pre-season because the players looked really up for it, and it was definitely a sense of dynamism to this team, and everyone was pressing really hard. There was loads of little movements and link-up plays that looked a little bit different, and it was all very exciting to see. I mean, I love the idea of new players because they bring new ideas and new energy, and new energy brings new challenges for the squad mates and so on. I do think City are going to play the season in a very different way, same but different, if that makes sense, and I can't wait to watch it. And I love new stories in football because ultimately football is an entertainment, you know, and I want to see Manchester City grow and develop, and I feel like we're about to witness the beginning of a new Manchester City dynasty, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. I mean, I've not even touched on the likes of Rodri and Ake, who were absolutely excellent. Ake, by the way, I was going to talk about him. He's a bonus point. I'll talk about him very quickly, but he looks brilliant, by the way, and he deserves to start the season. Laporte, obviously injury. Stones, well, look, if you don't follow the medical advice, and it's his own call, by the way, it's his own call, but then you're not involved in first team training. The ones that are, Guardiola probably will want to pick immediately, and I think that's probably fair for what it is. So Ake, yeah, I think he's going to start the season. He probably should do. But guys, they are 5 things that I took from the game. Let me know down in the comments what you made of all those points and so on. It's very exciting times to be alive. Haaland's brilliant. Super Jack Grealish is going to go absolutely Super Saiyan this season, I'm almost certain. KDB sharp. The CFA continues to bear fruit, and things look very, very exciting and very new. Thanks for watching this video. Big love to everyone supporting the channel, the patrons, the members, and so on. Don't forget to download OneFootball if you haven't already. Please do hit the like button. Let's try and get to 1,000 likes on this video. It ain't going to happen, but we can try, we can believe, we can hope. And also at the same time, hit the subscribe button. For now, I'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.